Welcome to all in our lecture series of PPCM. In our previous lecture, we start our new technique, that is the PERT. In PERT, we have seen three estimate time: optimistic time, pessimistic time, and most likely time. And after that, we have seen the frequency distribution curve and how we draw the frequency distribution curve. For that, we have seen one example. Now we move on to mean time, standard deviation, and variance of an activity. This is the part of PERT only. So in the PERT part, we have to study this mean time, standard deviation, and variance also. So for that, we have seen one by one that mean time, expect time, or average time. Means we called as a mean time or expect time or a average time. So this is calculated from beta distribution curve of time, at which probability of activity is just 50% time taken by activities follow beta distribution. Beta distribution is nothing, only the curve which we already studied in our previous lecture, that is the beta distribution curve, and here we have cut that part in a 50%. Okay, so this is the equal or unimodal hump curve. Okay, here you know T naught, here you know TP, and this is the TM or TL. So this is the calculated from beta distribution curve of time, and for that we have given one formula for finding the mean time or expected time or average time. That formula is TE is equal to T naught plus 4Tm plus TP. You know T naught is the optimistic time, TP is the pessimistic time, and Tm is the most likely time. So T naught plus 4Tm plus TP divided by 6 is the formula for calculating the expected time, mean time, or average time. Now standard deviation. So standard deviation is the measurement of uncertainty which is approximately 1/6 of range. Okay, so the formula for finding the standard deviation is sigma is equal to TP naught minus TP minus T naught divided by 6. Okay, so you remember this formula because you have to use this formula for finding the expected time, standard deviation. Okay, and last one is the variance. So square of standard deviation is variance of an activity. It is to be noted that higher the uncertainty about process, greater the standard deviation. You have to remember this line: higher the uncertainty about process, greater the standard deviations, and greater the variance of project. Okay, so higher the uncertainty, higher the standard deviation. If higher the standard deviation, then higher the variance of project. And the formula for calculation of variance is denoted by sigma square. So calculated by TP minus T naught divided by 6 का whole square. Okay, means it is the square of standard deviation. Now we have seen one theorem, that is the central limit theorem. So let's see the statement of this theorem. The theorem states that a project consists of a large number of activities where each activity has its own mean, standard deviation, and variance. The distribution of time for the project as a whole will approximately be a normal distribution. Means what happened here, if we complete or if we want to complete a project, so in a project there are number of events and activity. So a project consists a large number of activities. So for that what we have to do, we have to find the mean, standard deviation, and variance for each activity. Okay, so for that here we have given mean time or expected time for project along critical path is the T1 plus T2 plus T3. For variance, sigma 1 square, sigma 2 square, sigma 3 square, and for standard deviation, sigma 1 square root plus sigma 2 square root plus sigma 3 square root. Okay, so in this way you have to find the mean, variance and standard deviation for each activity if you consider a project. Okay, now critical path. The time was longest path is the critical path. You remember this sentence because this sentence is also came in your competitive examination. Critical path is the time wise longest path. Okay, in this path any type of delay is an event will cause delay to the project. Means if any delay in this path, then delay in the project also. So these are shown by double lines or dark lines in a network. Means if you have this is the event, this is activity, this is event, this is activity, this is event, and this. So if you have to show critical path, so critical path is shown by the double line. Means if you have to use dotted line or solid line, but this is shown by the double lines. So in this manner you have to show the critical path. Okay, so here we have event 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you have to reach up to the 4. So 1, 2, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So for that you have to find the maximum or longest path for reaching up to the 4. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4 is the critical path because this is the longest path. So how you find the longest path? If your expected time is greater, then that path is the critical path. Means here you have t is equal to 0. Now if here you have expected time is given is 4. So 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay, now 4 plus 7 is the 11. Here if you have gone through this, so you have here get 11, but from here you have gone, so 4 plus 5 is a 9. So here you have get 9, and 9 plus 4 here you get 13. So here you get 13. So 13 is the maximum part and 11 is the lowest part. That's why we have gone like this. So this is the critical path. So you remember time wise longest path is the critical path, and the expected time is greater than that part is the critical path. Okay, so today lecture is over, guys. We meet in with another topic in another lecture. Thank you.